Okay, it's been 60 days since my upper and lower blepharoplasty with the fat grafting from my thighs. So we grafted underneath the cheeks and the temples and above the brow. So I love the upper. So there is still this puckering that is happening right here from where he ties the sutures. So I am working on that, and we had a discussion. He said you can do like the scar massage where you just kind of pull up and you just rub this for about 60 seconds every single day. And I asked him, well, can I microneedle it? He's like, yeah, you can microneedle it. So that is my plan. I'm gonna do some microneedling for YouTube. I do have a Facebook group where we talk about microneedling and the products to use and all that, but I'm gonna start doing some content for YouTube as well. So make sure to like and subscribe. So went in for my checkup about 8 days ago, and at that appointment we just discussed everything. So he thinks there might still be a little bit of residual swelling. He's not quite sure because I've healed from the surgery so well. There was like a little bump right here that was really hard to point out to him because it's something that it comes and it goes. It's finally resolved and I don't see it anymore. So I talked to him about my concern in this temple. So in shadow, you can really see that there's a line right here. This side looks absolutely beautiful, but he thinks that this side might still be just a little bit swollen. And this was done by Dr. Kian F. Takari in Salt Lake City, Utah. If it's something that really bothers me, I could, definitely have it corrected with a little bit of filler. Right now, I've just started parting my hair on this side and wearing my bangs this way. You don't really see it unless there's shadow, like I can see it right here. Not enough to really drive me crazy right now. And my under eyes look beautiful as far as the tear troughs. So we did the lower blepharoplasty where they go in behind the eye and they kind of move the fat into the tear trough where you get that hollowing because your fat starts to disintegrate and slip down your face as you age. So he's just pretty much moved that back into place, corrected it, secured it. He didn't do any skin tightening underneath the eyes since he did the fat grafting. So I still got to work on these lines. So I am back to using the NIRA Precision laser at this point. So there's no fat underneath the eyes. The laser helps with the skin tightening. When I went in for my second consultation this year, because I'd gone in February of 2023 and I didn't like the options at that time, so I didn't go through with it. And they take pictures at your appointment. And then when I went back this February for my second consultation, he said, wow, what have you been doing because your eyes look so much better? And I told him what I've been using is the NIRA Precision laser. You can use my code LBV10 and save 10% at niraskin.com. It does make your eyes look better. You just have to remember that it cannot restore lost volume. It can't treat the things that are happening underneath the skin, like the loss of the fat and your bone receding. It can only help to tighten the skin. A lot of people go into these devices thinking they're miracle workers. That's not how these devices work. Not even the in-office devices are miracle workers. Usually those ones are so hot that they end up melting the fat and making your facial issues worse, especially when you're going to somebody that doesn't have the experience. They tend to use them too hot and they go too deep, and that's when they cause issues. So just do not group on your facial treatments. So I did go in there wanting to discuss two things for my dry eyes. This did not cause dry eyes. It can for a while, but I have been suffering since November with severe dry eyes. And the surgery kind of aggravated it for a while. I went in there asking, and I was going to ask him about two things, which I did. So the first one was the Trivana, which is a nasal spray that's supposed to help you produce tears. So I asked him about that, and he said he hasn't had anybody that has tried those. The second thing I went in there thinking about was do they still do the plugs? And he said, you know what? That's a really good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. And I was like, well, how much is it? And he's like, I'm just gonna do it for you for free because he says the type of dry eye that I have is evaporative dry eye, which means when I blink, the tears that I'm producing, they're draining down to this duct that goes into your nose before I can ever wet my eyeballs. What he did was he took collagen plugs, which they'll dissolve, he said, over the next 6 weeks. He says they don't last a long time. And I thought plugs was like some big, huge procedure where I was gonna have to go under. And he's like, no, they're super easy. It takes 2 minutes to put in. So he pulled up that little device where they like look into your eyes when they're doing your eye exam and had me look up and like inserted the collagen plug. Then he had me squeeze my eyes real tight. And then I looked up again. He said, perfect. So he did it in both eyes, but I do have my regular LASIK eye check coming up soon. So I'll be talking to that doctor about putting the silicone plugs in my eyes. Started to kick in about day 7, helping my eyes. So I'm not having like that super gritty feeling that I was having. So my biggest tips for how to recover from surgery are, number 1, you need to make sure that you have your skincare game dialed in. I do not recommend anybody to go get surgery because you tend to think that it's going to correct all of your issues. And I see so many pictures of women and men that they don't have a good skincare routine and the results don't look very good. So if you can get the best skin of your life, and trust me, you can get really far with your skin in 6 months. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Like, I'm here to teach you how to take care of your skin, the whys of skincare, what products that you need to add to your routine. My routine is going to be different than your routine. So I want to teach you what skincare does, the why of skincare, not just the how. If you are interested in learning about skincare ingredients, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My second tip, do not expect miracles from this type of surgery or any type of surgery. So it can't really correct that asymmetry. You don't want to be symmetrical anyway. It looks weird to the human eye. I just say don't expect miracles. Like, you're going to get a result, and if your skincare game is dialed in, you're going to get a better result. Like he told me when I went in for my first consultation, he said people that keep up on their Botox for this type of surgery have a better long-lasting result. I like my Botox, but I mean, it does kind of like thin the muscle, gray it, make it a little bit weaker. So that's where I like to recommend the ZIIP Halo Microcurrent plus Nanocurrent, because you're exercising the muscles that you're not using when you freeze them. My next tip is sunscreen every single day. It doesn't matter if it's snowing, cloudy, the UVA rays, which are the aging rays, break through the clouds, the blinds, the windows, and they're aging your skin. That is your biggest concern about the sun, not getting sunburned. It's about the aging rays that are breaking down your collagen. So make sure you're wearing your sunscreen every single day, the appropriate amount, which is 2 milligrams per centimeter square, which ends up being about a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon, depending on the surface area of your face and your neck. My next tip is to limit sugar and processed carbs. So they cause glycation in the skin. And essentially what it does is it causes oxidative stress and free radical damage, and it breaks down the collagen. And we're trying to mitigate that. So anytime we're getting huge fluctuations in our glucose, we are glycating. Our skin is being glycated. We're doing damage to our skin when we're getting huge fluctuations like that. So I do have content coming on glycation and what we need to do to limit it. And then my last tip, exercise. It's going to keep you young. It's going to keep your bones strong. It's going to keep your skin strong. So those are my tips for going into this type of surgery. I am honestly surprised. I feel like most of it is settled and I'm gonna be ready for my wedding. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.